Checking in with an let me have a drink. Excuse me, folks at home. Let me check in with the next about kind of 20 stanzas of Canto 15 Orlando Furioso by Aristo, Ludovico Aristo. So yeah, this is something somewhere like 37, I think. 37 to 62, so a little bit more. In this section, Astolfo is traveling along. He's the people who were escorting him got him out of Alcina's clutches, basically her scope of territory. He's safe. So now he's riding along. He's riding along on an amazing kind of magical horse. He has a horn that, when he blows it, will put fear into the hearts of his enemies. And I think he's got an amazing sword. He's well equipped. It's one of these things. At the moment I'm writing a little bit of a fantasy story, or I'm trying to in my Jay story time. It's like, oh yeah, magic items are all so cool. I should think about what the purpose of magic items are and what they mean. I mean, sometimes they just mean the hero has got a cool toy. I mean, I think about an example for modern age, which is Frodo or Bilbo with the ring, where it turns out that it has quite the cost. But though tellingly, that was just something that was added, seemed to be added on by Tolkien as he went along. He didn't realize, I think, at the beginning of writing it, that he had a ring of power. So that's something to think about. But I could be just not complex and just say magic horn puts fear in the heart of enemies. Though, there's always that thing of like, oh, what happens? Did these get turned against the hero in some sort of way? But yes, so Astolfo has this stuff. He's going through the country. He comes upon a hermit who warns him, don't go this way. There is a horrible giant. And giants in a lot of the old stories, the giants are cannibals. I think the Cyclops in Homer is probably another example of this gigantic creature that eats people. I think of the Titans in Greek mythology, and how they ate the children and then I think Athena burst out of his head. Is that? Oh, I probably got it mixed up in there, but there's a lot of eating of children and then being burst out. But there's just giants in general seem to be cannibals. That seems to be a thing. There's something about they're gigantic. It's like it's a symbol of having all this physical power and all this domination over your fellows, that you, in a metaphorical way, you're consuming them all. So, the hermit says, you should stay away from it. And it's like, but Astolfo, he is a cavalier. He is a great knight. The chivalry kind of things, like, no, I'm going to go right into it because I want to clear this out. If I fail, I'm just another dead guy. But if I succeed, I will be somebody who has saved thousands after me. And so he does so. And he goes up to the castle of this giant, and it's decorated with all his victims. So it's a super bloody, gross mess of probably all these rotting corpses, all decorating heads, limbs, torsos all over the place. The giant tries to go around him to get him. He's got a net, a very special net, which we're going to hear about. And Astolfo blows the horn, and he's in such a fear that the net actually curls around the giant and captures the giant. And it turns out that this is a mythological net that Vulcan used to capture Venus and I think Mars as they were doing the deed. So catches them in their shame and holds them. And then the poem kind of goes through a whole thing of tracing the lineage until it goes down to this temple in this city, which the giant sacked, and the giant sacked and got the net, which is just apparently just amazing. So what Astolfo does is shackle the giant and release him from the net. I guess once he's shackled, he's powerless, because he's now carrying Astolfo's shield and sword as like a page. So and he's displaying him throughout the country. And it's one of these things of like, everyone's just like super thrilled. Joyful crowds of people ran to look. They knew the danger would now be no more. which once poor hapless pilgrims overtook. So yes, so the giant is docile as a maid. Yeah, yeah. And what is the name? Yes. Yeah, from Vulcan Mercury had stolen this net to catch. Oh, okay, there's various people. What was it? Um this was the very net which Vulcan made of twisted strands of finest tempered steel, that thing, and he used it to capture Mars and Venus, and it served well. In fragrant lust he caught the guilty pair, bound hand and foot and helpless in the snare, which, I'm sure made for some great kind of bondage subject matter for artists later on. That's we're such dirty-minded people, aren't we? What the hell is his name? Caligorante. Yeah, so that's the name of the giant. All right. That is this section of Orlando Furioso by Ludvigo Aristo. Yes, and I will be starting on. We'll be starting on stanza 62 of Canto 15 next time. All right, more videos later.